Hey guys, welcome back to the channel if this is your first time being here. Today I have another speed build for you guys, and it's actually another addition to my Willow Creek save file. Save file has been going very slowly. It was my goal for 2025 to finish it, and it's currently almost the end of July. And to be fair, I did finish this build like in the middle of June, but like I don't know what's been going on, but like I have not been able to be as consistent with my uploads as I've wanted to be. So I think this is like only the second build for the save file that I'm currently working on. And the thing is too, like I'm the type of person, like I can't just like sit and work on one project. I like to jump around and do other things. I like to work on like random builds in the middle of a save file, so I haven't just been like working on this save file specifically. I've also been like working on building up Nordhaven too, because I'm currently doing the Very Veggie Legacy on the channel as well, and I have my sim living in Nordhaven, and I kind of think that like Nordhaven is one of the most boring worlds in the like entire Sims 4 franchise, because I don't know, there's like never anything to do. Even though they have like the little meetup things, I still feel like there's nothing to do in town. Like there's no gym, there's no nothing. So I'm also working on like kind of building a Nordhaven save file, I guess you can say too, because I'm basically building and renovating all the lots in Nordhaven as well. Even though I kind of don't have to do that, I could just go in the gallery and get lots, but I don't know, like for some reason I feel like as a builder that's kind of like cheating in a way. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I've also kind of been like procrastinating a little bit. Like I don't have any issue when it comes to building or recording a let's play or anything like that, but when it's time to like sit down and edit, I don't know if it's just like my brain and it just finds like that process so boring. Like I'll procrastinate, and I've also been procrastinating because like I don't know, like I'll have these periods. It's kind of like the Sims. Like I know like some Sims players, they don't really play consistently. Like they'll have periods where they will play the game for like days, like hours and days straight, and then they'll go like months without actually playing the game. I don't think I'm like that. I think I have like a pretty healthy balance with it, with like playing and then like I don't know, not playing for a period of time. Like I do play it all the time because I have to, record and everything. But I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of like that person when it comes to watching anime. Like I'll have periods where I kind of like don't watch anything. I don't watch TV or anything like that. And then I'll have periods where like I'll binge like a whole like 2 seasons of a show in like a couple days. Like it's kind of crazy. Like that's all I'll just sit there and watch episode after episode and after episode, and I won't do anything else. And that's kind of like been my thing recently. Like I recently watched The Apothecary Diaries, and I absolutely loved that. And I'm kind of sad that I binged watched it. I should have watched it slower, because I just found out that season 3 probably won't premiere until like maybe the like 2026 or something like that. And I mean, if you kind of think about it, that's not that far away, but it kind of is. So I've also been like reading a lot of manga and anime too. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should write this down, because I think maybe I'll do like an inspired, like anime inspired build or something, or like every room is a different anime character. Let me know if that's something you would want to watch, and which characters you think I should include for that. Because I'm already thinking of a room for Mau Mau now, and I probably would have to get the latest pack, whatever it's called, the nature or the fairy pack. I don't even know the name of it. I don't know the names of like most of the packs in the game. Um, and I haven't gotten that pack yet either, because I'm not really in a rush to get it. And I've also heard that like people are like complaining about like the ailments, and how like they're just spawning like so many ailments, and it's kind of like making the game like almost broken. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy it immediately, and I'm still kind of like on the fence if I want to buy it or not. I probably will end up buying it, because I do like the idea of being an apothecary. There was a period of time where I kind of thought that I did want to kind of be like an apothecary, like use like I was like really obsessed with using herbs and natural remedies to like heal, and like not be a doctor. Like I wasn't gonna be like a literal doctor, but I was like coming up with like homeopathic like remedies for colds. I was like doing like that onion and honey thing, and it actually, some of that stuff actually works. But like you should still see like an actual doctor though. I think I should actually talk about like the actual build now. For this area of Willow Creek, I kind of like to treat it as like, a lower income area. So like I don't know how expensive the actual apartments are, because when I upload like my residential rentals that I build myself, when I upload them to the gallery, I upload them as like regular residentials. I don't upload them as residential rentals because I feel like one, the gallery is kind of weird when it comes to uploading residential rentals, so I'm just used to just uploading them as regular like residentials. And then like when you download it off the gallery, if you have the for rent pack, then you can convert it to a residential rental. And then you, there's like actually 4 units in this apartment, in this building. um it looks like it's 2 houses, but I kind of wanted to do that though, because I don't think I've done a rental like that where like, and I'm kind of, and there are like actual rentals that are like that where it looks like a regular house. Like it could be like a really decently sized house if you use it as that. But I like the idea of like having, you know, like 2 separate apartments, like one on the bottom floor and one on the upper floor, and like the upper floor having its own like separate entrance that you have to climb the stairs to get into. Originally, I my other idea for this lot was I was gonna try to like maybe do like a mobile home community, but I kind of realized, I mean, I feel like I could have, but the homes wouldn't have been that big. Like these apartments also aren't that big either. But like I feel like it was definitely like way too cramped to do the mobile homes on this lot. I kind of wanted them to like be a little bit bigger. I was hoping to do like 4 separate mobile homes on this lot, but it kind of wasn't working out. So then I just went and opted for this type of build, which I actually like a lot, and I feel like it kind of blends in with the other house that I built on like in this area of Willow Creek, because that other area, I'll link that speed build down below. It was kind of like, you know, an abandoned house. Maybe that house could also be a rental, because I kind of see in my mind like the person who owns these units or owns these buildings, they're like an older couple. They probably are just doing this as like supplemental income because maybe they're retired from their actual jobs, and so they're renting out, you know, homes for people to get some extra money, because I guess whatever their retirement or whatever isn't enough for them to live off of. But they're kind of like up there in age, so they're not really able to kind of like keep up with the buildings that much. So like the house next to it, maybe they, that was one of their buildings as well, but they just like found it too demanding to keep up with all these different properties, so they just went ahead and sold the other one. But it was kind of like dilapidated, and they didn't really have the money to fix it, and they didn't have the energy to fix it, so it kind of got ran down. This one, I feel like it's a bit nicer. Maybe they paid someone to kind of fix it up a little bit, but not too much. I feel like also like in the real world economy, like I feel like people are more renting for life pretty much. Like no one's really buying houses anymore because the economy is just too bad for people to afford it. And that's kind of another reason why I do eventually want to build, maybe not even like a mobile home community, but just build like a mobile home in general, because I feel like especially in my area, the people who are able to buy houses, they're actually buying like mobile homes. And I feel like people have like a negative connotation when it comes to mobile homes, but I feel like it's also really nice, especially like if you're able to like buy your own property. Like I feel like that's definitely like a leg up versus just like renting. I mean, like not everyone is able to afford land either. Like I'm also renting at this moment, but if I ever am able to afford a mobile home, I will definitely get a mobile home versus like still trying to get a house. Like I feel like that would be better than renting, I feel like. And like I said, like I feel like people have like negative connotations for mobile homes, but some mobile homes are actually really really nice, especially if you're able to afford to like, instead of having, you know, the regular like wrapping that the house comes with, if you're able to like like have enough you know, money left over to actually build a foundation to have your mobile home sit on, then I feel like that's another win. And I think I'll go ahead and tell you guys the rest of my plans for this area. I don't know when I'm gonna actually start working on those builds, but I do know I need to build maybe like 2 more houses in this area, and I think they're gonna be like budget friendly. I think one of them is gonna be like 20K, and then the other one, I think it might be around 30K. I find that like when I do builds that are like move in ready, and I do want to do more builds that are like that, because when with by move in ready, I basically mean that they are builds that are furnished fully, but they don't really have personality, you can say, because I don't have like a particular sim in mind who's going to be living in that area, but I just want the house to be furnished and you guys can like customize it. And for me, like doing move-in ready homes are kind of like harder in a way, because I like to have, when I'm doing a build, I like to have like a specific sim in mind, and I like to have like a specific story in mind. And also, by the way, it looks like I'm furnishing the houses, but I'm just currently working on like the layout, and how I work on my layout. It's kind of easier for me to like kind of use basic base game furniture to just throw in there to make sure I have enough space, make sure I have enough room, see how I want the house to be laid out. Originally, I had planned on having the upper stairs kind of be like either a one bedroom. I kind of wish I had did that though, because the bathrooms in these homes are kind of small, and I was able to fit two bedrooms in each of the units, but I feel like if I had maybe put one bedroom, like maybe one big, a little bit bigger bedroom, and then I could have probably did like a bigger bathroom for one of the apartments, because in the two downstairs units I did have in mind, like they're going to be lived in by a family. Like one of the families is going to be a single mom and a toddler daughter, and being able to have a bigger bathroom would have been, I don't know, easier for gameplay wise, because I wasn't able to fit a tub in the bathroom because it was just too small. And I kind of hope that it will work, because it was kind of cramped in there to fit a shower and a toilet and a sink and all that. So hopefully everything works okay. But I feel like it also doesn't really matter anyway, because you can also bathe your toddlers and I think babies in sinks. I'm not sure. I think you can, but I think it'll be okay. But if you do struggle with like layouts and stuff, don't like hesitate to, just throw down some like basic furniture and see how you want things to be. And it'll also be helpful to do that too, because you won't like go around like start working on things and then realize that it's not going to fit the way that you want it to, and then you'll like have to go back and change things. So go ahead and put some furniture down as you work on it, as you work on your layout, and then once you have your layout figured out, you can like go ahead and start decorating it the way that you want it to be decorated. But I think at this point I'm starting to work on like each individual unit. This is the first unit that I worked on, but before I talk about that, I'll real quick talk about like the other builds that I plan on building in this area of Willow Creek, because I think one of the major changes that I'm making in this area is I'm kind of breaking up the BFF household from them being roommates, because for one, they're not even like friends. Like when you start up a fresh save file and you go into their household, they're not BFFs. They barely know each other. And so I think I want to like build another residential rental, but it's going to be like an actual building and they'll have like their own apartment. I feel like it's very realistic, especially for single young adults, to have like their own space. And kind of like I'm creating like so much drama in my head when it comes to Willow Creek, and I'm so excited. Like when I was working on this build and I was editing, like I was kind of thinking of the people who lived in these buildings, and like thinking of like the drama and like the chaos and everything that's going to be like included in this little area. And so I also think that I'm going to break up Bob and Eliza. I don't think that they are a good fit. I don't think that they are good for each other. I know that there's other people who believe differently and kind of want them to fix things, and they think that Bob is the bad guy. And when I get to them, I'll kind of like explain my theory on what's going on with their relationship. But I want to build like an apartment complex. So one, the BFF household, they can like live apart, they can have their own separate living situation, but like I feel like maybe they are meant to become BFFs in the future, like they are in the future going to get along really well. I think I also have a creative sim video coming up of them, because I recently gave them a new makeover. I think I've given them a makeover before when I was going to work on a save file in the past that I did not finish because it was on my laptop that I was playing on, and then I did not move my save file over to my PC. So I'm starting a new fresh save file over from scratch, and I'm hoping that I will finish it eventually. But I'm also thinking about moving Bob to that apartment as well, and he's going to have like a fresh new start and kind of get his life together, hopefully, and on his own, apart from Eliza. Maybe they'll come back together later. I don't know. But I'm kind of like thinking of like, do I have enough people? Because like for one, when it comes to like the Spencer Kim Lewis, I think that little girl, I can't remember her name, but her and Alexander are the only two children in Willow Creek. And I think Cassandra Goth is the only teenager in Willow Creek. And the way that I like to play The Sims is I do kind of like, I prefer to play like kind of like exclusive to the town. So like when they, if they travel to a different town, like it's a whole trip. Like if they go, for example, like for some towns they can go to, like San Myshuno, they can just like go and travel to, because I kind of see it as like the city. And if you kind of look in the skyline of Willow Creek, you can kind of see a city. So I kind of think, okay, they can travel from Willow Creek to San Myshuno without any issue. Like they can just go there. It'll be like an hour drive, so they might go on the weekend or something like that. But like when it comes to maybe traveling to Sulani or Windenburg, or what's the other one? Hackford on Bagley. Like those are like more so destination worlds. Like I feel like they would not just travel there real quick and come back. Like they would, like that would be like a couple day trip for them. And that's just the way that I like to play. So I kind of would like to have a little bit more teenagers, maybe some more children, like kind of make, because the way I see like Willow Creek, it's like a family town. Like I like to play with families when I move to Willow Creek. When I want to start a fresh new save file and I'm building a young adult sim, I'm thinking of this is a sim who is thinking about like settling down and getting married and starting a family one day. And that's why they moved to Willow Creek. When I'm playing with a single adult sim who's just like trying to figure out life and wanting to live on their own, I move them to San Myshuno. And I also think that having like more either residential rentals or apartments that I build myself, or just having more apartment renovations are perfect, because that's what most young adults are doing nowadays. And then, eventually maybe they'll get married or they'll find a partner and they'll think about expanding their family, and maybe they might buy a house if they can afford it. In this economy, most people can't, but if they can, they can. And that's kind of like the way that I like to play. Like when I start off with single young adult Sims, they are renting, and the family that lives in this rental, it is a single mom, and she's living here with her toddler daughter. I kind of hate like when sometimes when I see like people talk about like a single mom and a single daughter, like they always create like this really sad backstory about like how they were married or they were left up to raise their daughter on their own. But I feel like this person who lives here, like she's very independent and she likes living alone. And I feel like maybe she made that decision to kind of just raise her daughter alone. Like there wasn't like any huge drama or anything like that. It's just that she didn't feel like she needed to, I don't know, like settle or anything like that for the person that she had a child with. Like she just was like, okay, I'm fine. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my child, and we're just going to live on our own. And they are happy and thriving here, even though, their space might be small, but they are still happy. But like the drama is that because their next door neighbor, the one who lives in the downstairs other house unit thing, I feel like that family has a lot going on, where it's kind of like a different situation, where I kind of thought that it could be a couple and they have a couple kids. They would have either when I was doing the build, I was thinking that they would have like another toddler, because I thought it would be really cute for the toddler that lives in this apartment and the toddler that lives in the other apartment. They could like be friends and they could have like play dates, because I think that is something that you can do in The Sims. You can set up play dates, but I don't know. I find that it's really difficult to set those up, because you really don't have relationships with other Sims outside of your house. So I just thought it would be really cool to like set it up this way, where there's like a toddler in both units and that they can like grow up being friends. And then the other couple that lives in the other unit, they also have a child son. So they have like an older son and then a little baby son. And they have like some issues with their marriage, where I don't know, maybe the father, he kind of like got out of work somehow. Maybe he's like having some issues And so basically, the mom who lives in that house, she is technically a single mom because she's like taking care of the kids by herself. She's working and like managing all the finances and everything. And then the husband, he's just there. And that's kind of like the drama I've created with that family. And I kind of can see maybe the mom in this apartment kind of influencing that other mom and like making her realize, like I don't gotta deal with this. I could like be on my own doing better than what I'm currently doing, and maybe they can like become friends and their children can become close or something like that. And in the other upper, it's kind of getting confusing. You'll see it when I get to it, but like in the apartment right above this one, I have in mind a single adult sim, and they're kind of like, I don't know. I don't think they're bad, but they're very, I don't know, creative, I guess you can say. They're very rebellious. I think that's the right word for it, because I kind of had in mind that when I did these apartments, they would kind of have like the same wallpaper and everything, because that's pretty realistic. Like when it comes to apartments and people who are like just regular people who are just renting properties that they own, they kind of keep things the same. They don't like paint every um rental like a different color or anything like that, and they kind of like keep things the same. And I feel like most of them, they use like the cheapest materials to do stuff. So like they all use like the same cheap counters, they'll use the same cheap flooring, because they know, I think that most likely they kind of expect people to kind of be moving in and out all the time. So like they don't want to spend a whole bunch of money fixing things up. They want to, minimize the cost of fixing things up, especially if people aren't going to be living there long term. So I kind of see the person who lives in the apartment right above this one, that they're kind of rebellious and they decided to like paint their walls. You'll see how I did that in really soon. I think I'm working on it right now. So what I did was I used the same wallpaper. It's technically the same wallpaper, but I just used a different swatch, except I did use a completely different tile in the kitchen, and I kind of like painted it red. So I was like imagining that the person who moved into this apartment, they just decided that they wanted the apartment to be red. And one of the reasons why I did that also is because I don't know, like it's interesting because I feel like when you do things the same. So like basically I wanted the kitchen and the bathrooms to all kind of have the same furniture, because when you move into an apartment, like all that stuff is already there. And I kind of wish the Sims 4 did their houses like that. I don't know why they decided to like kind of have the houses furnished. Like it's enough to like fit a specific budget in there. I think they also have a way of furnishing so like it doesn't lag people's games. But I kind of wish how it was in The Sims 2, where like when you would open, like when you have a family move into a new house, like the only furniture you would get is a bathroom. Usually you would have like a toilet and a shower sometimes, and sometimes you would have a kitchen, sometimes you wouldn't. But I like having more like realistic houses like that. So like in the upstairs unit in the other house, I didn't furnish that one at all. I only put in enough furniture for a sim to just move in and bring their own furniture, because I feel like it's really interesting to see like how an apartment can change based on who moves in. So that's why it was important for me when I was working on this build to have specific people in mind on who was going to be living here, because even though they have the same layout, 3 out of the 4 units, they have the same wallpaper and flooring and all that stuff. But it was my hope that you would kind of get a feel for like the different personalities of who lived in each unit. So like in this one, you can kind of see that this is like a single adult sim, and in my mind he's hot. I don't know how he's going to turn out, because I'll be creating him and create a sim. I might make a video of me creating all the people who live here, so we'll dive deeper into their stories a little bit, and I can't wait to like play with him as well. But he's kind of like a little bit of a loner. Like he just be up here like playing his music. He can kind of be a nuisance to the single mom living downstairs, because like maybe her child is like trying to take a nap and he's like playing his music loud. And I feel like it's not like because he's mean or anything like that. He's just like a single sim. He's not a parent at all, so he doesn't really realize like how like certain things, like he's just like doing his own thing. Like he just wakes up and he's like, I want to listen to music, but he doesn't really think about like, oh, there's a kid downstairs that might be taking a nap, and like, because he doesn't know how to be a parent, he doesn't know what's included in that. So like, but he's fine and like chill, like he will, you know, turn his music off if his downstairs neighbor comes up there and be like, hey, can you turn the music down? He's gonna like be nice about it. He's not going to be like rude or anything like that. And I feel like, you know, maybe he does want to be a musician or something like that, or I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he's a gamer, because in the second bedroom for this unit, I did turn it into like his own personal gaming room, because he doesn't have any responsibilities. He can use that room as he pleases. And the story I also created for the reason why he decided to paint the walls is, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this build, the person who owns this building, maybe they're like an older couple, so they're not really able to kind of keep an eye on their properties the way that they should be. So he was kind of able to like just paint it. There's a couple holes in the walls that need to be patched up, but again, like I feel like, you know, that's the thing when you have a rental that is owned by like an older person or someone who doesn't care about their property, because I do know there are people who are like that. Like my landlord is really cool. Like they cut our grass. If we have any issues with anything in the apartment, they always come and see what's going on. But I have heard from like other people that they don't have like that same situation. Like they have a hard time getting their landlord to do anything for their apartment, even though it's their property, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I feel like maybe he's the type, maybe he doesn't want to bother the older couple, or maybe the older couple are just like, I don't know, like they just don't have the energy to come and do inspections and fix things like they probably did when they first owned this house. So the person who lives in this unit, they were kind of able to do whatever they wanted. And at first, I did originally want to include like a little tattoo studio up here. Like maybe the guy who lived upstairs, like he would do like tattoos on the side or something like that. And at first, I thought maybe I could like put it in the living room, or maybe I could put it in the extra room, but it kind of wasn't fitting the way that I wanted it to fit. And I don't know, it fit, but I was like kind of worried that it wouldn't work because there wasn't enough room. So I kind of like scrapped that idea, and you don't really see it because I did end up having to cut that part out of me working on that out of this video, because I didn't want this video to be too long. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I'm super happy and I'm glad that you're still here. So instead, I turned this guy, maybe he's into like music and he's into anime and he's into gaming. So basically he is my dream partner. But I don't know, I feel like he's like the type of person, like he kind of looks a little intimidating, but he's actually really kind and sweet. And I feel like he's going to be very helpful when it comes to these two moms who live in this apartment, who are well, one of them definitely is a single mom, and the other one is technically a single mom because she's basically doing everything on her own because she doesn't have a supportive partner. I did cut out me doing all the bathrooms because, for one, I feel like the bathrooms are all kind of the same, even though I kind of like did like little touches to make them a little bit different. And I can't think of what else I might have cut out, but let me know if you guys don't mind, like if you want to see like the longer videos, but like you get to see every part of the process of me building, or if you just prefer to like kind of see like how it's edited, so like you pretty much see the, I don't know, mostly finished product, I guess you could say. And I'm currently trying to think if there was anything else that I needed to talk about with this build. The only other thing that I can think of is that there is like little area outside, kind of like in between each house. I kind of wanted to turn that into like almost like a little mini playground. Like I mentioned before, I really want to, in this save file, because I will be playing with it personally, I want to like create a space where like the people in the town, they can actually connect and make friendship or stir up trouble, I guess you could say. Because I kind of feel like it is a small town, and I want there to be like, you know, small town drama and like gossip and stuff like that. But yeah, in the middle it's kind of like a little mini playground for like the children to come to and like connect. The parents can come to and connect and get to know each other. But I think that was all that I had to talk about for today. So I think I'm going to wrap up this voiceover. I think there's still quite a bit of building left to do. So I'll just like put some music in the background for you guys to watch and chill. And I hope you enjoy this build. If you want to download it, you can. I've already uploaded it on the gallery, and I really hate the gallery picture. Like, it really makes it look weird. You can't even tell what it is because it's a picture of the side of the house and not like the actual what I made the front to be, which is kind of weird. But yeah, when you do download it, make sure you have move objects turned on, because in order to like put some of this clutter down, I had to use move objects for things to be the way that I wanted it to be. And also, I also forgot that I did include laundry baskets in most of the units, but there isn't actually any like a washing machine or anything like that. And I do think I plan on building like a laundromat in Willow Creek. So yeah, if you run into like any issues with the build, please let me know. Let me know what you would like to see me build next, and I'll add that to the list of like, because there's just so many things that I want to work on right now with The Sims. I'm also thinking about too downloading some like CC and custom content back into my game, because like I have a love-hate relationship with CC and mods, because I feel like there have been a lot of updates recently, and that was another thing that I was thinking about too when I was working on this build, because I did use the latest kits. I used the kitchen clutter kit, and I feel like there was like a period of time where they were like releasing kit after kit after kit, and like there's kind of been like a little bit of a break, but I feel like maybe soon, maybe in like the next couple weeks, they're gonna announce some more stuff, and we're probably gonna have like 6 more kits come out. And I have like a love-hate relationship with kits as well. I feel like they're really nice. Like, you get like a decent amount of stuff for like $5, but like at the same time, I feel like you get stuff like for cheap, but it's like not enough stuff, you know, like you're still wanting more. And I've downloaded like CC packs before that have like a similar idea or themes, but there's like so many more things included. So I am definitely thinking about like including maybe CC and mods into my gameplay sometime in the future. Like, I am gonna still have my builds that are CC free, and then I think I'm gonna do like extra builds on the side or something that do have some CC. But my thing is, when I do CC builds, is I kind of feel a little bit bad because I'm making content off of something that other people created, and I have like a really, like, I don't know, like I'm not really good at keeping track of where I get my CC from. So I think if I do build with CC, I'm going to like put more effort in keeping track of where I'm getting my CC from, and maybe keeping it limited to like a certain specific creator or something like that when I'm working on a build, so that way I can give them credit for the CC that I use. But yeah, let me know if you have any like CC creators in mind that you would like me to use for my builds, um, or if that's just something that you would like to see. Let me know if you'd like to see more modded gameplay. I'm considering doing that, but like I don't know, it's just like I have a love-hate relationship with that as well, because they're randomly updating the game, and therefore so many mods can end up breaking, and I don't know, you have to like go through each mod basically to see which one it is. Usually it's like the same couple that will break when the game is updated, so it's not that hard, but still, like I've had save files that I've completely abandoned because the game broke because of an update and the mod didn't update, or it was just like some kind of clash or something. So yeah, we'll see what I tend to do. But yeah, if you've made it to this point of the video, I'm very grateful for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this build, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, feel free to like and share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it as well. I'd also appreciate it if you subscribed if you haven't done so already, and I hope to see you in the next video.